and welcome to Canopas. Myself Radhika Selya. I'm excited to take you through this video tutorial series where we are building fully functional location-based application from scratch. We are calling it GroupTrack. GroupTrack is open sourced on GitHub, so you can check out and customize it along with us. GroupTrack allows user to share or track a location real time by creating groups of their family members or a friend. GroupTrack adopts MVVM architecture and use a Jetpack Compose for building modern declarative UIs. In terms of feature, it allows you to track and share location real time. It also allows user to chat within the group, and group track the location history and journey of the user. And it also supports geo-fencing where user can get alerts when member leave or arrived at specific place. Here is the tech stack that we are going to use and explore in this video tutorial series. And yeah, if you are a Flutter developer, then we have GroupTrack for you as well. So yeah, check out and don't forget to give star. So before we get started, let's have a quick look at what we'll implementing in this tutorial series. We'll start by creating a basic project which has a custom theme and typography support, and we'll do some basic start with basic intro screen and setting up the navigation, and then we'll do a Google authentication. Next we'll integrate a Google Map SDK, and then we'll work on the core feature of GroupTrack, which is to share and track location of within the group. Then we'll work on chat functionality where user can send text and image messages. After that, we'll work on a geo-fencing where we explore a cloud functions to send alerts on specific events. And lastly, we'll implement a journey algorithm to keep track of location history of group members. So yeah, let's get started. Let's create a new project by selecting empty compose activity. Give it a name, a GroupTrack clone. Finish. We'll not implement everything from scratch. We'll use the colors and the typography theme of our original project. So let's see what we have here. Here you can see that we have defined different color according to the theme, light and dark. And we have created our own color scheme. So we are going to use this instead of using a material theme color scheme. We'll see how we can do that. Let's run our initial project to see everything work as expected, but no, it's not working. So okay, we need to change the compile SDK to 35. Let's run it again. while it's running, it's there. Okay, yeah, everything is working fine. So let's start by adding colors. Let's copy the app color scheme. And now let's define all the colors. Okay. Next we'll do setup of our material theme, and for that let's move to the theme file. Okay, we have some error here, not here actually. Yeah, here. Here we basically blending two colors. Okay. So let's remove that and specify the theme we have in GroupTrack. Let's specify this in color file, so we'll have everything related to color at one place. Okay, and we'll have same for theme dark color scheme. Okay, so now let's use that here in our project theme. So let's see how we have used. Okay, based on the system theme we are specifying the color theme. Okay, so let's copy. Okay, now we'll provide our color scheme to the composition local provider, so we can use those colors implicitly wherever required, rather than explicitly using that through the composable parameter. So but before that we need to define app dark color and app light colors. So let's copy that from here. Okay, here is our light color scheme. And here we have dark. Okay, so let's specify that with the composition local. Okay, we need to create our own local. So here we have created our own composition locals, so that will provide the specific color scheme wherever required in our application. And let's create this static object that allow us to access those uh, composition locals. We'll get back to this later. Okay, so wherever, okay, we don't need this, sorry. So now we can use this color scheme directly like this: app theme dot color scheme, and whatever color you need. For example, it fits the primary, so the same as we are accessing material theme color. So yeah, basically we are done with all the theme related setup, sorry, theme related to color. Okay, now let's define a typography for the font of our application. And for font we are using font family. So we need to add those font, so let's add that in our resource folder. I have already downloaded the font family, and let's add it. Okay, let's copy paste font family. Okay, now let's define different typography. Same as the color scheme, will use our own typography using a composition local. Basically we have defined different text style for different text. So let's copy everything. For code completion, I'm using Copilot. Actually, we don't need this, as we already as we directly defining that based on the system black theme. So yeah, we are done with the basic project theme. So now let's move further to add some UIs, I mean some screen. So these are the screen that we are going to implement in this video tutorials. Okay, but for this part we are implementing intro screen, which has 3 onboarding steps. So let's download required images. Now let's add them one by one. There was something wrong with our Android Studio, so I need to do invalid cache and restart. It should work now, so let's see. If this will not work, then we'll add PNG. Oh, it's working fine, so let's add. I hope it will work for last image as well. It stopped working again. I don't know, but something off is with Android caching, so we need to force quit it. Let's open it again. We need to invalidate cache, otherwise it will not work. This is really strange. Like every time, that never happened with me before, but now every time when we need to add something in our resource, we need to invalidate Android Studio. And yeah, I have storage, but I don't know why it's happening. So while our index is building, we need to wait until our index complete. Meanwhile, let's check out onboard screen of GroupTrack. Now we can add our last image. I hope it will work. Let me know in the comment if you ever faced such issue. Okay, now we have image of all three pages, so let's go ahead and implement onboard screen. Let's define composable for our onboard view. Okay, let's see what we have here. Okay, we have used horizontal pager as we have 3-step onboarding process. and we have a custom page indicator. Okay, and a custom primary button. Here it's our intro item and the data that we are going to show in onboard. So let's define our data first. It's a live location, receive alerts and location history. So let's define that. Live location. On the second page it's receive alerts, and on third page it's location history. Okay, now let's define description of each page. Okay, now we have title, description, and we already added images. So let's define data for onboard. We'll pass string resource and image resource. Okay, let's create list. It's onboard page 1 title, page 1 description, and sorry, it's a drawable, and that's page 1. Don't we have, okay, so it's pages. Now let's design our onboard view, but let's first design the pages for onboard. Okay, we'll have title, image, and description in each page. So let's define composable for that. And it will have a data, onboard data. So we'll need a column, and let's make it scrollable as well. It has a vertical scroll or something. Actually, I forget the API. It's a remember scroll state. Here we have vertical scroll. Okay, what else we need to define? It has a padding, bottom padding, and the alignment and arrangement. So let's define padding bottom to 24 dp. Horizontal alignment, which is center, and vertical as well will be center. Okay, first we'll have our title. And for typography we'll use app theme. And let's see the Figma what we have here. It's a header one with color primary. So we have a header one with it's a text primary, and we need a spacing between image and text. So let's see. Okay, let's copy it. And here it will be our image, and again we'll have spacing, and next we'll have a description. Let's see its style. It's a subheader one with secondary color. So here instead of subheader we have subtitle one. Okay, here we also need to specify a text element to center. And here as well. Let's define the image. We might have some aspect ratio. Oh, it's a fill max width. So let's give it fill max width. And we also have a bottom spacing. So I think we are done with onboard page UI. Okay, now let's go ahead and add those pages in horizontal pager. Our column will wrap in whole screen. Then we'll have a horizontal pager, and for that we need a state. Let's define state for that. Remember pager state. Yeah. And here we need to specify the size of size of pages, and obviously it's experimental API, so we need to opt in, and let's define state here. Okay, in callback we'll get index, and yeah, we'll show pages based on that index. Next we'll have some, okay, on top we'll have 60 padding. And also we have center horizontal alignment, and then pager indicator, some spacing, and primary button. Okay, let's first define horizontal alignment. Not here, actually here. Horizontal alignment, that's a center horizontal. Here we'll have our custom page indicator, then we'll have some padding, let's give it 40 dp, and then we'll have a primary button and some more spacing. Here as well let's add horizontal 16 dp padding. Okay, now it's time to implement a custom page indicator. You can see in Figma, uh, like for selected indicator, it has a different size and different color. So, and it also needs to animate between whenever page change. So, let's implement. For views that we are going to use throughout the app, we'll keep that in components. Okay, first we'll need a page count and obviously the state, pager state. We'll add rest of information as it requires. Currently we only need page count and state, and for uh, width and color we'll use a default one. Okay, so let's see the implementation. Okay, so we have one row which will draw the indicators, and here another box that's basically to animate from one page to another. So, and that's in the box. So okay, and let's use all the defaults parameter. Okay, and our content element will be, sorry, a center start. Okay, now we'll have a row and animated indicator. So let's first draw all the indicators based on the page count, and here we'll repeat that. So for active indicator, width will be 20 dp, and for default indicator, width will be 7 dp, and also it will have a different color based on the current page. And now let's have a box. Okay, now let's define animated container. Okay, we'll calculate offset, and for that let's see how we have implemented here. Okay, we have covered almost everything. Okay, we forget to specify the modifier of row and the spacing. As we specified spacing here, so I think we don't need it here. Okay. So how we have calculated offset? Our scroll position will be current page plus the offset fraction and spacing, indicator width. Okay, so let's first define a scroll position, and that will be our state current page and the current page offset fraction, and then we'll calculate offset, which basically has a spacing plus our indicator width and scroll position, and we'll round it to pixel. Okay, so we have calculated the indicator position as page animate, and let's use size and background. Okay, active indicator width, height, active color, and indicator shape. So I think we are done with a page indicator, so let's use that. And now we left with button only, so let's define our button. Okay, we need to, on button click, we want to animate our scroll page, like animate to scroll to the next page. So we need to define the scope here, coroutine scope, and from that coroutine scope we'll launch this. And on the last page we'll navigate user to. Let's skip to do, as that will cover in next part. String resource and the get started text. Okay, full max width, horizontal padding, the label, okay. On primary, let's also specify the button colors, and it has button colors dot default, I guess, or button defaults button colors, and in container it will be our primary color and content color will be on primary. So yeah, we are done with our onboard view, so let's place that in the main activity. So in second part we'll implement a navigation, as will add support for authentication. So now let's run whatever we have implemented. And here we go. Okay, we made some mistake here. Our horizontal pager is taking whole space, so we need to specify a modifier with weight, basically height to horizontal pager. Let's see now. I think it should work now. Yeah, it's working fine, but let me zoom. Okay, we need to fix placement of our pager indicator. And here we go. It is working as expected. So yeah, we are done with the onboard screen implementation. In next part we'll implement the screen which has Google Authentication with Firebase. So yeah, that was it for today's video. Stay tuned for next part where we are going to implement Google Authentication with Firebase. Thanks for watching.